Today's video is brought to you by this lovely poinsettia, also known as brownie points for the wife. And also 8 rolls of blue painter's tape because it was on sale and it was on sale. In case you're wondering, yes, the table saw used to be right here, but I moved things to get better organization and I feel like I've actually doubled the amount of space in here by the tool placement this time. But more on that another day. You guys out there have really made 2014 a very, very awesome year for me. And you just continue to show your support, so this is very cool in the position that I'm in. And I've got 4 things sent to me this past week in the mail. First, Jackman Carpentry sent me his business card, a couple stickers for my cabinet, and a very nice Happy Holidays card. I very much appreciate that, Jack, and I will put these on the cabinet in just a minute. Also got an emblem. This is pretty cool, a really cool idea, I think. It's a metal emblem, and from Doug Williams. Here's an emblem that I have made at my local trophy shop. I inset it into my projects. Here's one for your cabinet, Doug Williams. And it's got his company name on it and 2014, so you inset it in all his projects that he makes. And I really, really, really like this idea. Personally, I think this is like one step up above, say, branding. Just a nice personal touch that you can add to your projects. This is a really cool idea. And of course, I'll add it to the cabinet as well. I also got a card from Derek Cadmus. You may remember he's the one who sent me the fast cap table saw height adjustment gauge block thingies. I forget what they're called. But anyway, he sent me those, and he sent me a family Christmas card with his little boy and girl sitting on Santa's lap with the boy freaking out. And I personally think it's hilarious because I used to be in his shoes, the little boy on Santa's lap freaking out. That was always me. But yeah, very nice, thank you. Also, a good buddy of mine, Patrick Curtis, sent me a white sticker for the cabinet of his logo. Patrick Curtis makes videos here on YouTube. Patrick's Workshop, I think is what it is. Woodshop or Workshop? I can never get it right. Workshop. I always say the wrong one. Patrick's Workshop has a channel here on YouTube. And he's where I got the idea for my bandsaw scoops last year or the year before, whenever it was. Or maybe it was earlier this year. But anyway, it's his original idea for the bandsaw scoop. So he's got a lot of really cool ideas. Y'all should, I just said y'all should check out his channel now, you hear? Darn tootin'. Shoot, dog. So yeah, let's put them on the cabinet. Gotta get the Red Wings flag in the shot. Let me see. There we go. My predictions for the Lions at the beginning of the season was them to start strong and lose 7 of the last 8, like traditional Lions history goes. And that's not me being a downer, it's, just me being realistic. That's typically what they've done. But instead, they've actually put together a decent season. Their expectations, they could have played a lot better considering the talent that they actually do have. But it's going to be a good game this weekend in Green Bay. Detroit's going over to Green Bay to play for the division title. So I'm actually really looking forward to that game. Hopefully I can maybe talk my wife into hitting up Buffalo Wild Wings or some place that's got a bunch of the games going so I can actually just watch it. But nevertheless, they are guaranteed a playoff spot, so go Lions. And the Red Wings are doing good too. They are 17-8-9, if I'm not mistaken, which I've always been a hockey fan. I grew up playing hockey. Hockey's just awesome. It's one of the only sports where you can have a good game that goes 0-0 with 1 minute left, and the entire game of 0-0, you could be on the edge of your seat with excitement. But anyway, they're 17-8-9, which I don't understand the overtime loss deal. Like, you get a point for an overtime loss in hockey, which it doesn't make sense to me. You either win or you lose. They're basically 17-17, but the record says 17-8-9, which makes them look phenomenal. 17-8, But anyway, that's my little rant on hockey. Nevertheless, I love hockey. Hockey's awesome. And the Red Wings are awesome too. I haven't really talked about upcoming projects a little bit. I do have a lot of stuff that I want to get done. Like I said, I did move the shop around, so I've got some shop type projects that I would like to get done, including an outfeed table for the table saw, folding outfeed table, maybe, I don't know. It's not really a high priority because I don't really like to use an outfeed table unless I absolutely have to with longer pieces. I'd prefer the pieces, once they pass through, to tip down so I could actually pick them up and move them. Unless it's too big of a piece where I just need the support. And if that's the case, I can move my workstation over to it, but I don't want to continuously do that. So I do want to eventually get to making an outfeed table for it. I've also got a design in the works for this shop vac and mini cyclone setup. Something small and compact that I think will do well. I will personally like it here in the shop, but as far as everyone else using it, wanting it, whatever, I think it'll apply to a lot of people if you do or don't have a mini cyclone with your shop vac. So that's going to be cool. I haven't really seen too many designs like it, somewhat similar to it. So yeah, I look forward to that. It's something I do want to get done sooner rather than later. I keep saying that I want to make a 2x4 traditional workbench, woodworking workbench. And I think I've pushed that off a little bit further, even more so than it already was, because I've set my Moxon vise up on this dresser that I've had in my shop for years now and screwed it or bolted it down to it. And wow, I should have done that a long time ago. It elevates it even higher, and it's at a perfect height for me, and it's in a solid piece of furniture that's not going to move around. So that's going to stay over there, which will further delay the need for me to make a workbench. And my assembly table, I'm really sick of the way that this is just cobbled together. There's a lot of things that I don't like about it. I want to take these cabinets out and put the cabinets on the wall somewhere where I can use them specifically for stuff that doesn't need to get dusty, like paintbrushes and paint rollers and stuff like that. I've got a lot of that little stuff that I didn't have previously that I want to get into, just these small little cabinets. I don't want to build any more cabinets than what these two are right here. That'll be just fine. I'm not a big fan of cabinets. And of course, I'm still procrastinating on my miter saw station. It's kind of going to be a little bit of an expense because it's going to have a lot of drawers and all this other stuff. So kind of just pushing it off a little bit, you know. So that's gonna come up whenever. And also I want to make a doggy gate for my transition between my kitchen and dining room. My dogs come into the dining room at night when it's too cold, and they really respect boundaries. They don't travel through the house where they're not allowed. We just put one or two little things in the hallway or the doorway to stop them from coming out. They could probably just walk around them if they really wanted to, but they understand that if there's something in the way, they're not going to go around it. So the dog gate that I have in mind, the design of it, I want to have something that will kind of fit into place so we can remove it when it's not needed. And I don't want to have any type of latch system. I want to have a magnet drilled into the casing, and then a magnet on the side of the gate. That way when it gets closed, it'll kind of hold it there. And I think I got the idea from April Wilkerson. I think that's who it was. I'll try and find the link to wherever it was and post it in the description below. I want to say it was April. I think it was her. Belt Sander Platform version 2.0. It's just a really small, compact box with a hole for the dust collection, shop vac this time instead of the actual 4-inch dust collection port. This works really well. It doesn't get too hot because there are some holes around in the box to pull air around the motor and all that good stuff. But the fan that's built into this thing that normally blows into a bag, I don't have that attachment, so it just blows it right into this area, so it's right where the shop vac is. Very good dust collection, and I had to make this really quick before the little plastic tote project, whatever it is, the shoebox project, because it's a lot of sanding, and the one that I had, Belt Sander Platform number 1, I guess, was made with an MDF platform and a particle board table, and it got wet, which I guess you guys know the result of those materials getting wet. So it was no longer usable, so I had to make this real quick. Oh, and finally, the last 3 or 4 areas where I had the table saw located in both this shop and the last shop. The right hand of the table saw was against the wall because I thought that would be better, which it's not in this shop. Anyway, it restricted me from putting a router table in the right wing. And also, I said in my French cleat router table video that I did not want to put a router in the wing of my table saw again because it was too much of a pain in the butt switching between router table mode and table saw mode. But that was more due to the fact that the distance from my router bit to my table saw blade wasn't that much in my Porter cable setup. So it really was a pain in the butt because you only had like 4 or 5 inches of clearance before you had to break down the router side. But in this setup, that's not going to be the case because I'm going to have like, I don't know, 26, 27 inches of rip capacity before it goes to the actual bit of the router. So I'm debating on putting a router table back in my table saw wing. That's just an idea I'm going to throw out there and think about it for a while. So nothing immediate for it, but right after I said, I don't use the router ever. I barely use the router. I've used it in like 3 projects in a row, so whatever. Well, I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and enjoy some time with your family. And I just realized that I keep moving back and forth because somebody pointed it out to me that I keep moving back and forth and I can't sit still. And I very much apologize if that's annoying, but I have a really hard time sitting still. I'm very fidgety, so yeah. See you guys later.